Hello everybody and welcome to the virtual game fair. We hope you're enjoying yourself so far as you've been watching the live coverage and the films that have been put up for your entertainment. The director Albert Titterton asked me, in the light of this new bill coming forward, to go and have a scour out round the country and see what else is going to be affected by this bill. Not only hunting, not only you as a dog owner possibly coming under prosecution. This ill thought out bill has got so many question marks hanging over it. Hopefully it doesn't get through. So I went off to our local point to point and caught up with a lot of people in the horse industry. And you'll find their comments quite interesting as I caught up with them through the day. So come with me now and we'll go off to the local point to point and we hope you enjoy it. Well, Colin, it's good to see you back again in the annual pilgrimage where we always seem to meet up. The point to points, obviously you love them. And I must explain, this gentleman is a reverend gentleman. He is a minister, so it shows that all walks of life are involved in hunting and the point to points and everything. You love it?
Well, I was brought up with it, and it's the one thing I've maintained all my life. Love the horses, love the racing, hunted, rode point to points, rode the track a little bit, and now I'm a steward. Today I'm chair of the stewards here at East Antrim. It was always a great meeting, always good fun. And so important to the whole racing world, especially for the young horses coming through.
Yes, we're getting this thread. This is the starting ground for a lot of horses that will go on to be thick and famous someday. And from this track in particular, some have already showed up their form. Do you find it, because it's the hunt clubs, that it's the racing, did they play a big part in that? Do you think that's where it all starts?
Hunt clubs are very important. I mean, these point to points, these amateur racing, wouldn't be there, wouldn't be existing if it wasn't for hunt clubs. And hunt clubs have to do a lot of work to put them on, and they really are to be commended for that. And as I've already sort of alluded to, the young horses coming through is the point to points are so important to that, especially the national hunt horse, and many have gone to top, as you suggested. And then even for the ones above the 4 and 5 year old age group that aren't been moved on, there's a sport for people, and there's a fun, and there's a way of, using your horse outside the hunting.
Yeah, very much so. The racing industry and the horse industry has become a big economical benefit to the countryside, isn't it? We're selling the horses, we're exporting them, we're breeding them. Everybody is really, really into it in a big way. I know the fun's out of it compared to what it used to be. You nearly pulled the horse out of the plough to race the next Saturday, but now it's become so professional, and with it being so professional, money is spent to achieve that.
That is true. I mean, I suppose it's a lot more professional now. I mean, I was like a sack of potatoes in a horse, but you did it for the fun, sheer fun in those days. But nevertheless, you could still got the good horses coming out of the good steeplechasers, horses that went on to win the Grand National. So it's just very important to the economy of the equestrian industry, the racing industry, which is big in Ireland. And so we don't lose the hunt clubs, we don't lose the point to point.
Yeah, very much so. And we keep talking about the horses, but we also have the young jockeys. This is where they learn the ground. Dunwoody hunted with East Antrim hounds, and they all go on to cut out a real good career.
Absolutely. Jockeys, jockeys in Ireland, it's still a grassroots sport here. I know it's got more professional and there's more money in it, and you might lose some of the kind of fun of it, but at the same time, it's still a grassroots sport here, which produces horses, trainers, riders, owners, and a very good industry.
And also the social side of it, which has become sort of part and parcel of the whole story, isn't it?
Great crack. Look, you're getting fresh air, bit of exercise, and it's good crack. And people, real people, down to earth people, no airs and graces. It's great. Loved it all my life. Still love it, even though I'm a mild boy now.
Well, we can always dream. Colin, listen, thanks very much for taking the time to talk to us. I see the next race get out, and I know you being you'll want to go and watch every last step of it.
I've got to go. I'm chair of the stewards today, so I'll have to do my bit.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Well, we're joined again by another one of the sponsors. it's Glenpatrick horse boxes.
Glenpatrick horse boxes, Barclay Communications and WorkPal, I think. So we're getting all of the company names in there.
Just right when I get the opportunity. Well, obviously sponsoring these events and putting money back into sort of the rural community and helping it to thrive is important to your company.
Oh, big time. We are very involved in the horse world ourselves. It's a massive passion for us, country life, and we live about 5 minutes from here. So we love to support local horse events like this.
Very much so, and very successful you are too. But you also hunted. I know your father hunted.
Yeah.
Him and me sort of had many's a good day and together and still going. Do you find the hunting? I know you play polo.
I do.
Do you find that out in the hunting field has made you a better rider?
Oh, definitely. I think with the hunting, you have to be ready for anything. Ready for many's a ditch or whatever you come across. And I think as a rider, it definitely improves, and it's helped me even in the polo. Just to, it's a very fast sport, and you have to be ready for anything.
Yes, you find the third leg, as we used to call it.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And it's also good for schooling young horses and bringing them on to take part in the different disciplines that they take part in.
Yeah, even we have show jumpers, young show jumpers and eventers and horses, sport horses. Sometimes there's nothing better for the horse than to get it out for a day's hunting, get it moving forward. Sometimes those show jumpers can be cold big things, and take it out for a day's hunting, and it really gets the horse going again.
Yes, I suppose like you and me getting a night out every now and again.
Yeah, you need a break, you need a night out every now and again. Yeah. I probably get too many.
Break the mold. So, you're going to have a bit of fun today, hopefully, and thanks for taking time to talk to us.
No, thank you.
And enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks very much, George. Cheers.
Thank you. So we're joined by Kevin Ross here, a gentleman that sort of goes looking for prospective, up-and-coming top racehorses. Kevin, you come along to the point today. Obviously, you're out in an I Spy job to see something for potential clients.
Oh, certainly. This is the grassroots of potential stars, in the national hunt game. There's been many Gold Cup winners, Grand National winners have all started in point-to-points. And I'd have to be here to view them and, try and pick out something special.
And you always will, obviously, but do you find these point-to-points and the hunt clubs running these point-to-points are really, really, really important?
Oh, it's extremely important for the whole industry. So it is. The top buyers all buy from point-to-points. The hunt clubs they run them brilliantly. It's very professional, and it's a must in the whole national hunt industry.
Yeah, I know it's a sort of a very low, the end of the sport, but it's still the spade work. It's nearly the most important bit at the end of the day.
Yeah, well, most of these young horses, 4-year-olds, will be sold, and they'll go to the big yards in England and Ireland, and hopefully in a few years' time they'll be household names.
And we have seen that happen time after time.
Oh, time after time. I actually rode a horse, Bindery, and he ended up winning the Grand National, and he started in a point-to-point, So
yeah,
been lots of them.
So it is the development, and not only that, we sell the horses all around the world. It's a very huge industry now. It used to be it was just around the local doors, but now it's got so big, and transport, etc., it's made so accessible. Horses can be in Japan tomorrow.
Yeah, well, for instance, last year, the winner of the 4-year-old mares actually won the American Grand National last week, so that just proves the point.
Yeah. So we're appealing to a worldwide thing, and it must be huge benefit to the economy of Northern Ireland.
Oh, certainly. So many people in these jobs riding out horses, all those young horses, stud hands. It's a huge industry, and the point-to-points is the grassroots, and that's where it starts.
Yeah. So basically what you're saying to me is if they ever do away with point-to-points, do away with hunting, do away with hunt clubs, there's going to be a very, very massive hole there to fill.
Oh, it'll be a disaster for everyone in the national hunt industry. So it will. I couldn't see how we'd go on without it.
Yep. Well, listen, I know there's a race about to start and you have your binoculars out and you're looking for that special one today, and we hope you find it. Wish you all the best, Kevin, and thanks for taking time out with us.
No problem. Thank you.
Well, we're lucky enough to be joined by one of our sponsors here, Raymond Hill. He's come along, obviously he sponsored it, but he also has come along to enjoy the day. Raymond, sponsoring these events, it's important, isn't it?
I think very, very much so, George. It's part of our heritage, it's part of our country scene, part of growing up. I've become the point to points probably the last 30, 40 years, and especially after the big lockdown we've had in the last year and a half and so forth, it's great to get people out again, out in the fresh air. And it's all type of people, the young, the old, and in betweens.
Yes, it's great to support the rural community and our way of life out in the country, isn't it? You know, a lot of people are down on the horse racing, or down on hunting, down on everything, but they don't see the bigger picture and what it really means to the economy and the people that it affects.
Well, exactly, George. These horses are looked after better than some kids, and they do wrap them in cotton wool. It's great. You see yourself, the horses love being out in the fresh air. They love their jumping. If you saw the last race there, a couple fell off, but the horse got up and still done the 3 mile course. So it's great, and it's very important for the young people, the kids here today, to understand, about the life of the country things and all the horses, etc.
So it is. You're busy at yourself, I know, with you have the car auctions and many more fingers in the pie, and you just like to give back to what you've sort of got out of the countryside.
Oh, very much so. We all have to stick together on these difficult times and support each other. And and it's great to see so many people here today, and great to see old faces like for a chat again, and like to meet people that you maybe only see once a year at the point at the races. So yeah, keep it all going. Well done to the organisers, and please keep this going, because this is certainly a very big part of our community.
Well, Raymond, thanks very much. I will let you go back to enjoying yourself and have a good day.
Thank you, George, and hope we see you next year.
And the same. Thank you.
Cheers.
Well, I'm joined here by Brian Crawford, a well-known jockey and a well-known man out in the hunting field as well. So we're just going to chat how important point to pointing is really in the whole big scene of country life and how things go. Do you find that the point to points are a big social event to start with?
Very much so, very much so. I'm probably relatively new into the racing side of things. We come from probably an eventing background, and we're only probably into the racing point to point in the last 10 or 12 years. But it's very much like your local communities come together, your hunt clubs bring all your farmers together. It's a social day out for a lot of people. It's like some farmers, they have Balmoral would be a calendar marker in the year. A lot of other farmers would have a point to point. Their local, like say here, Patrick, all your local farmers be involved in helping it run it,
Very much so. I was here during the week while it was getting ready, and it was just surprising how many farmers turned up to offer their assistance in that and give a hand and did help. The point to pointing part of the sort of the hunting scene, it's very important. It's where the young horses start out their life in their racing career. Would it be fair to say that?
Without a shadow of a doubt. I know originally to run on a point to point, you had to get a hunter certificate, which actually meant that you had to go out and have a day's hunting with the horse to prove basically that he had his basic understanding of survival and rideability, and he got then his hunter certificate, and he could then go on and race in point to points. Now you still have to register through your hunt club, but you don't necessarily have to have a day out hunting, but it's still your major grounding and basics for getting a horse and educating him for his career on the race course and further afield.
Yeah, very much so. So it's a big industry, the racing. Nobody really maybe realises just you've got your feed merchants, your vets, your blacksmiths. There's so much tied up in all this now, isn't there? It extends further than just in the stable, in the yard. It's a big economical feature in the countryside.
Without a shadow of a doubt. And everything from, as you said, your farriers, your feed merchants, but even to your local silage and farming contractors. Like I know here, for example, you have like Bob McKnight. He's connected with the hunt, but his son as a contractor, his machinery is used to help prepare the course, help to repair the course afterwards. So it's amazing how many paths that are affected by it.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you've got a couple of rides today. Are you going to give us any tips?
I've one. We've one nice mare to run. She's a bit of an older. She's a 6-year-old mare. She's had a couple of nice runs actually here. One of her best results has been here. She was third one day. So it's her first run of the season, and hopefully we can pick up where she left off. And well, so a bit of luck.
We wish you all the best, Ben, and thanks for taking time out and coming and speaking to us. Thank you. Well, we hope you enjoyed yourself and watching the comments of the different contributors to the video that we've just watched there. It was interesting to see that the gap was opening up greatly and the dependence on the hunt clubs and their point-to-point, and how it is so vital to the survival of the horse industry, especially the racing department. It'll be another question maybe to put forward to the MLAs and to your MLA who has proposed this, how they intend to fill this gap and how they intend for the employment and everything else that goes attached to it. It is not a few pound industry, it is a multi-billion pound industry. And this is something that else should be considered.